I'm Michael Oristian. I'm running for the 53rd Congressional District.
My baseline thought is probably the same as when I was a kid, which it should mean that the people are in charge. It's the people's country. It's government serves the people. Anything, not just government, anything serves the people. It's not the other way around.
So the color of the skin or whatever they believe, LGBTQ, anything, you name it, we all humans.
Fairness in the workplace, equality, thinking about the rules that apply to one person apply to another person.
I can tell you that democracy to me means that people get an equal voice, people get an opportunity to hear all sides, and they get an opportunity to make an educated decision of who they want to represent them.
Something that in this country should be for the people and by the people. We elect our public servants and they should serve us.
I have foundational beliefs, and I think for democracy to work, it has to work for everybody, and there has to be equity and equality. And as long as we fail to do those things, we're f***ed as a civil society.
Ever since I was in high school, I believed that democracy meant that all people had an equal chance in this country, that was supported by law, and was fair.
And we're concerned about what's happening now in our country in terms of democracy. We're moving increasingly towards an autocracy, and we need to practice democracy at every level.
You can get to a place where once you agree to the process that a majority rules or a supermajority rules, everybody is invested in that decision as well as making the case to convince people of the right way forward. So I believe that democracy can be super effective if we get to a place where people agree with the process, agree with the results, and do the best to make their campaign for what they believe the truth should be.
For me, democracy means a government that is governed by the people, where one in which everyone gets a chance to be heard, gets a chance to have input in policy, in whatever is being done to improve people's lives from the government side.
There's two different things. I would see it as what it is versus what it means to me, okay? So like what I would say, it is right now is kind of a facade to a certain extent. It's like a way to control that collective thought of people, to almost make it seem like there's true democracy.
Everywhere around me, I see people being cut off for one reason or another. They either can't pay to be running, or they pay millions of dollars to run, and that isn't fair.
Is this democracy? I had to ask myself that question. Is this the country that says it's the greatest democracy in the world and yet will not let everyone speak?
To me, democracy is being able to live the life that you envision for yourself. So if that's becoming a superstar, if that's becoming the president, if that's just becoming a community activist, being able to do that freely, that's what democracy is to me.
Unfortunately, in this race in the 53rd, being a first-time candidate, the one thing I'm learning is that money plays a big part, and so does influence. And so the candidates with the most influence and the most money right now are really the ones getting the most representation on TV, on newspapers, but on things where the public are involved, they're also getting the most representation in terms of forums that are being held, in terms of debates that are being put together.
I think it's important that people take the opportunity to do their own research on candidates and ideas and realize that the media, the mainstream media, and even the local media may only pick up a couple candidates who they feel can go for the long haul, either because of their fundraising capabilities or their name recognition or what have you. But in a true democracy, it's the responsibility of the citizen just as much as the candidate to do their research and really learn all of the facets and all of the opinions and possible ways forward out there.
The founders, as brilliant as they were with the three branches of government, it's been a real hard challenge again, especially in the last 5 or 10 years, as we've really watched that deteriorate. So I think, democracy, when I was a kid, I thought we had it in the country already. And I'm not going to say we don't have it now, but I think we have less of it than we did even 30 or 40 years ago.
Democracy is everybody participating in the system. And I feel like we're not. We feel like we we want to pretend like we're doing, but in reality, I'm living it. No, this isn't democracy.
It's not focused only on the few. It's not focused only on the rich and powerful. And it's not supposed to be focused only on those who have more influence over resources or money or media.
And all too often, we rely on curators to form an opinion. We don't want to form our own opinions, so we look to one person or group to identify, hey, what do I want to do with this? And what you have to realize when you're doing that, I'm not going to say you're throwing your vote away, but you're just throwing your weight behind something. You're not really giving your independent opinion. You're not really putting forth your independent assessment of a candidate or a situation.
I think that, the system, the corporate media has decided that they're basing who they invite, who they want to listen to, on how much money you have or how much money you were raised. And I think that's rather unfair.
There are a lot of candidates, good candidates, that aren't actually being allowed to show up to these events or given the opportunity to speak at these events, either because they just haven't raised enough money or they don't have the type of influence that some of these other candidates have. And unfortunately, their voices are being silenced. And so the citizens in our district are really not getting the full picture of what's available to them.
And that isn't fair. We need fairness in our democracy.
We already been conditioned, to act and to vote and to do things. We want to have a change in the government. We want to remove money out.
Make your own choice. It's your voice. Find somebody who will represent you. You're choosing somebody who is going to be your representative.
To represent us, to have our voice. Money should not be the catalyst in these types of situations. Power to those who want to represent us without taking our money.